Okay. Hi, you guys. This is There's Always a Choice podcast with Althea and Robert.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Happy Valentine's Day, because I know Valentine's Day just passed yesterday. Anyways, so today we want to start with, or at least begin our topic with why it's okay to be single. So, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Yeah, you sound like you got it.
I sound like I got it right now?
Yeah, you sound like you got it right now.
Alright, well, basically, guys, I know I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I used to be a serial monogamist. I used to be the kind of person where it's like I want to be in a relationship, like I don't really like being single and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like it's kind of important to be single, at least for like some type of period in your life. Like it's kind of important, or at least in between relationships, it's kind of important to have just periods where you're single, periods where you're, not only are you healing or recovering from the relationship, but you're also, dating yourself, you're being to yourself, where you're not always just on top or underneath somebody, like you have time to be with yourself, you know what I mean? So I would say it's pretty important to be single, or at least to have just like single moments within your life, like,
Mm-hmm. Everything you said is correct. Like, it's true. Yeah, I'd love to add. Just thinking about a personal experience, I used to wonder about those moments when you're in a relationship and like you feel you shouldn't be there. Like you feel something's missing, you feel there's more, and you question yourself when you're not around that person, or that person brings up questions, or we call them red flags, and they might not meet all our requirements. But if you don't develop beforehand of the relationship or during the relationship as a person, as an individual, because you come in as one person, meeting another person, and that's two different worlds, and you're trying to build a world together. You want to make sure things mesh. I'm not saying anything about perfect or how it goes, but the balance and understanding that they should add a certain quality to your life.
Definitely.
They should answer more questions that you have about how your idea of love should be than, have you doubting if they care and how invested they are into what you both have together. So knowing what you want before a relationship, your standards, your boundaries, your preferences, whatever it is that it takes for you to enjoy being with somebody, then you have an idea of that beforehand, and that's important.
Yeah, even like before I was in my current relationship, like I literally wrote down like lists, like basically list of I did like 4 different lists. One list was like of deal breakers, one list was like preferences, one list was like standards, like things I need them to have, and then what was the 4th list? I can't even remember. Either way though, like I really broke it down, like like I made sure like I was gonna get what I wanted, or I just wasn't gonna get anything at all, because I feel like a lot of times we settle, as people. Like we'll find somebody, might like them, whatever, then we'll settle for them when things, it's just like, damn, are we even compatible anymore? Or do are we even like aligning like our wants and needs? Does it even really align? Like I feel like a lot of people try to like since you're already with them, you'll try to make it work, and it's like more so wasting time, you get what I mean, like on people that it's like you're falling in love with potential, basically. And I feel like a lot of people do that a lot, and a lot of people will settle when they're in relationships. And that's kind of also why I feel like it is important to be single for a little while, because if you date yourself, you start loving yourself a lot, like you're not gonna settle for less. You're gonna want somebody that's gonna treat you as well that you treat yourself. Because honestly, like, why would you put up with people with shitty values, morale, and stuff like that, and bringing you down as a person, or messing up with your sense of self-esteem, etc. Why would you put up with that if you already have like a strong relationship with yourself? So I mean, if you do have a strong relationship with yourself and you're single this Valentine's Day, it's okay because listen, baby, everybody got a time. You know, I know we be seeing like cute couples on like Instagram, social media. You know, you see it. I seen it when I was single, and I used to like be like, damn, like when is it gonna be my turn? You know, but it's like it's gonna come. You know, it don't matter. It's gonna come. Like it kind of like. You know, but it's like something got to just take with like a grain of salt, you know, like, you want to add?
Yeah, the dating yourself is important. So it's self-esteem, right? It should be about you knowing who and what you are. I have a strong idea of it. So someone else, different people have different ways to go about life, but for you, knowing that someone else won't come in and break down what you have, like you'll be able to like peep game or have an idea of, you know, like, yo, this isn't what I need for myself. I'll be settling by accepting love that you don't deserve. And sometimes we do that just for the sake of being with somebody. And also about the Valentine's Day thing, like butterflies, romance, and all that stuff. It's awesome and have a day like that. But you kind of, we all really at the core of it, you want to be with somebody where it's more days that you get loved and appreciated, other than, you know, a holiday where we can say, hey, look, it's this national celebrated thing and they did something for me. But in between all the other times, it's like, it doesn't have to be whatever. It could be just a small gesture, a small gift, a token of appreciation, but being treated like you are someone's Valentine, but not based on the 14th of February because.
And then that's another thing too, with Valentine's Day. So we see it glorified on like social media and stuff like that. But at the same time, when you see, you know, people, oh, they have like a bed full of roses, or they have like the huge dozen thingy of roses, teddy bears, chocolates. Oh, he took me on like a yacht or something, you know, just like you see a lot of like crazy shit on social media, right? It's like you see this side of their relationship, but it's like you don't know what's really going on behind closed doors. So it's like, yeah, you can see that. You can be like, oh, I wish I had somebody to do that with or something like that, but you don't know what's really going on, you know, it could be a perfect relationship. You never know. They could be madly in love with each other, or it could be some abuse going on. It could be, you know, they're not even talking to each other half the time. They're beefing, you know, like you really don't envy what you don't know, you know, like just know that if you love yourself, you like date yourself, etc., like you find that self-love, like you're gonna find somebody that's gonna love you as much as you love yourself. And then if you find somebody that doesn't love you as much as you love yourself, you probably not gonna want to be with them, because you're gonna be like, bro, I'm awesome. Yeah. And you're treating me like I'm not, and I don't accept that. Yeah. Like at that point, I don't accept that.
That's important.
Exactly. It's very important, because why am I gonna be taken less if I like really fuck with myself, you know?
So with accountability and love, etc., sometimes you want someone like a perspective. You know, when I find that when a relationship is good and you meet somebody, you might mention it, but on the high of the relationship, some people don't talk to you about it. Then when it goes bad, you know, they might hit up their best friend or a family member, however it was. Myself, sometimes for accountability, I say, if someone presents a situation to me and asks an opinion, or they might vent or they might ask an opinion, I say, if your best friend came to you with the same situation that you know everything about, what would you tell your best friend to do? So accountability is, hey, I should care enough about me to make those tough decisions. Yeah. To, you know, see it through or cut it off.
But I think a lot of us have done that before, where we'll basically give advice to like our best friend or something like that, and it's like, damn, I should probably take that advice myself. And it's like, nah.
You hear that in her voice, you hear like, it, nah, but you don't want to follow it, because it's like, am I gonna be single if I follow this? Yeah, exactly. Will it get better?
But then that's the thing too, like people be afraid to like let people that ain't doing them no good no more, or you know, ain't really, bruh, if somebody ain't giving you peace, like, yeah, bruh, like if it's like like more than, if it's like even 51% problems to 49% peace, I don't know about all of that, man. Because I would even prefer at least 75% peace to 25, percent problems. Like that would be like way better. Because child, I wouldn't even want a 50-50. I wouldn't even want 50% peace, 50% problems. That's too much problems. Why are you bringing me so much problems? We're supposed to be vibing, like I'm supposed to come to you. We supposed to help our problems together, like.
Hold yourself accountable. You chicken from 51% to I'd rather
I started
75.
doing math in my head.
But then it's like, how much are you settling? So like,
no, for
the
real.
25% better not be something that's in your deal breakers or red flags or something like that, because you gotta make sure that your happiness overall.
Exactly, and that's the thing too, because with happiness in general, happiness is supposed to come from self anyways. You're not supposed to find happiness in other people. Like, yes, you can have happiness with other people, but happiness is going to come from you. Happiness does not come from outside of you. Like, if you don't have happiness within yourself, nothing else is going to make you happy. You have to make yourself happy first. And that does actually also go into accountability too, because a lot of people dump all of their problems on other people, and it's like, yeah, other people might play a role in some of your problems, but you don't have problems because of other people. Like, it's really that simple. But that's a lot of that's some accountability that some people aren't ready to handle or to have. They'll be like, no, because so and so did this and that, so how is that my fault? Child, you dealing with it. You could leave or something. Like it's
a choice.
Yeah, exactly. Everything is there's always a choice. A podcast. Yeah, like for real though, but it's truly okay to be single though, guys. Like
it is.
It definitely is. Like it gets lonely. It doesn't even really get lonely because you have yourself. So I can't even say it really gets lonely. It's just kind of like, damn, like, like when you're thinking about it, if you focus on it, then yeah, you'll probably be like, damn, I want a person, whatever. But if you're not really focused on it and you more so just focused on the progression of yourself, etc., like, it's kind of like, like whatever, like they'll come along eventually, And that's why you really just gotta love yourself more than you love other people. You gotta love the progression of you more than you love, people outside of you. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
That's important stuff to touch on.
Yeah.
You gotta hold yourself accountable, because, like you said, it's loneliness and being alone are two different things. You can know that you're alone, but if you put a relationship or someone higher than you value taking care of yourself, there's some people who notice that, and some people play a role or they come in for whatever reasons, but you should have an idea of feeling somebody out. And it's about accountability as far as there's steps. You meet someone, then you talk to them, then you figure out, do I want to date this person? And throughout that whole courtship, that process of getting to know them, then you say, do I want to date this person exclusively? Because there are people who, they're talking to more than one person.
Yeah.
Some people let you know, some people don't. And you move on to dating exclusively, or you say, hey, let's start a relationship and build a relationship. Throughout that process, hopefully you get the answers you want in a person. Like, do I enjoy being around them? How's my time away from them? Yeah. You figure out your attachment style. You're accountable with how you are, how you love. Like, do you space stuff out? Are you more like, you engulf yourself in the love and the romance? You got a big heart. You love deeply. Yeah. All of that's okay, however you are. You find someone where it doesn't feel like, I'm hitting them up too much. You feel like a burden or clingy, or you doing too much. Some of that stuff is tough to hear from somebody else that you thinking that, yo, we good. And then they have thoughts otherwise. And it's good to be able to have those tough conversations with yourself. Then it doesn't make it that hard to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm, asking for. This is what I want. And they say, you're probably not asking for too much. You're probably just asking the wrong person.
Yo,
and
I love that.
That's tough to, have an eye open and wake up to something like that from somebody that tough you like.
Swallow.
Yeah, but it's okay to, not like the right person sometimes. And it's okay to have...
And I was going to say, that's another thing too, what I said a little while ago. Basically, damn, why do I keep losing my thoughts? Oh, yeah, I was going to say, when you're like dating people and things like that, it's like sometimes we don't even like focus on, do we like this person? We're focusing on, does this person like me? And I feel like that also has something to do with self-esteem as well, because it's like you're focused on, seeing like, does this person like me? Like, and you might be like, attracted to them, or you might like certain qualities about them, but you're not even paying attention to everything. Like, do I really like this person? Like, and then another thing too, how you said, being, am I hitting this person up too much? Am I, doing this and that? You have to find somebody who's going to match, your level of compatibility in that type of sense too. Because if you have and not like off no insecure shit, like you have to know exactly what they're doing all the time or whatever, not even anything like that. But if you just, like being around somebody, like that's your love language, like your main love language is quality time, or, you like, you just like being all up underneath people for, whenever you can and stuff like that. You don't want to be with somebody whose love language is, more so like, I'd rather be a little bit distant from you or something like that. Like, like, I don't like being all up on people all the time. And even if you guys are compatible in like different ways, it's like that's a big thing, like if y'all love languages are different and stuff like that, that's something that could potentially make or break the relationship right there. You have to really ask yourself the important questions to make sure that you're not settling for something that's not meant for you. You get what I mean? Because you could get stuck in a relationship and be unhappy, and you're just like, why won't he change? It's like you're falling in love with potential, and it's like you gotta fall in love with the person who they are at this very moment. If you can't do that, then don't expect them to change for you, or expect them to, even if they say they're gonna change, don't, just fall in love with what's in front of you. If you don't like what's in front of you, then you just gotta move on. Like, even if you like what you see, like if you don't like what's underneath, nah.
Yeah.
No.
For the most part, when you're true to yourself, you meet someone and they show you or tell you who they are when y'all talking. And in a moment of you being rough on yourself, and you reflect on when y'all met and you go over things, you like, damn, I heard that part. I overlooked this. I let this stuff happen. You ain't want to hold yourself accountable as far as, you know what, I'm hearing some things that it's not good, but the potential of maybe we could be good together. So you accept less love than you deserve, mistreatment, or like you settle. And even if it's just you going through this life alone with friends, family, or acquaintance, or whoever you meet, and you don't have that love of your life yet, who might come, we don't know timing, or your twin flame might not be in this time span. That's something else we might get into. It's our right to feel good about you taking care of you, than to feel less than, hoping somebody will show you the kind of love that is, some of it's based on basic human decency, and then feeling come in it. Certain things aren't too much when somebody cares the way they say they do.
Exactly.
Actions over words.
Exactly. And with that being said, we also wanted to touch on mental health awareness as well.
If you're going through any tough times, the mind is a place where we could overthink things, especially like, for instance, it's Valentine's Day, and they say like around Christmas time, certain ideas of holidays with romance, and you see all the gift giving
Right.
based on having a couple, and it's like anniversaries, engagements, and
Right.
proposals,
And it's
New
like
Year's.
you might feel left out,
Yeah.
etc., stuff like that. So if you are struggling with your mental health, etc., like that, don't believe like, you know, it's too late for you, or etc. Or if it's something to like where you're really struggling, don't hesitate to get help. I am 100% an advocate for therapy, especially with Black people, because I feel like we don't get enough of therapy, at least like, or at least a lot of us don't, you know, be trying to go to therapy, and I feel like definitely more of us should. But drop some quick gems for you guys if any of you guys are struggling with mental health. One thing is BetterHelp. Now, this ain't sponsored, but I know a lot of people be sponsored by BetterHelp, but this ain't a sponsored video by BetterHelp. But I heard BetterHelp is really good. I haven't tried that one myself. I tried 7cups before, 7cups.com, before when I was like in high school, and that was pretty good, and I'm pretty sure it was fully free. I don't think you have to pay for 7cups or anything like that. And also the mental health awareness hotline is 1-800. Oh, wait, not the mental health awareness hotline, excuse me. The suicide prevention hotline is 1-800-273-8255. If you guys are to the point where you guys don't feel like you should be on this earth, or you feel like you can't be on this earth anymore, I would recommend calling that number, other than, you know, doing something drastic or anything like that. Or if you have somebody that you feel like that number would be a help to, I would suggest, you know, giving it over to them as well.
And as far as mental health, not only about, you know, longing to be with somebody, just things in general. If you have any feelings about like anxiety, just things on your mind, tough days, moments, life can get, you know, life can be a rocky road.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you feel that you need, you know, a little bit more help with, or some privacy to talk to a therapist, or, you know, someone in a field that's more qualified to help in certain regards, it's there for you. You know, whatever you're going through, as somebody you could talk to. And to touch on what you were saying, like the stigma of Black people, or the people of, you know, not upper class, however it is, it's like therapy is this thing that we shouldn't be doing, or it gets joked about or brushed aside, or if they find out you're going to a therapist, you know,
like, you crazy, nigga?
Yeah, stuff like that. But
like,
it's deeper than that, and no one knows what you're going through more than you. So it's all right to want to, you know.
It's like, it's 100% okay to get therapy. Therapy does not make you weak. Therapy doesn't mean anything but that you're getting therapy. Literally, that's all it means. Mm-hmm. Therapy can help you even if you think you don't really need therapy. That's why I literally advocate. I think everybody in this world could use a little bit of therapy, because just to get an outside perspective and somebody else's opinion on like your quote unquote problems and stuff like that, like, just to have that outside voice and like sense of like calm that they can give you if you actually, you know, idolize it, like it can really help. Like, it can really help.
And definitely. It's different from like, you know, like it's kind of like, let's say your school counselor, if you trust them enough, or whatever it is, to advise you or point you in the direction. But it's different from group chats, your best friends, like your lovers, whoever, because if those people don't have your best interests at heart, I'm saying, like, without whatever decisions you make benefiting them, then their advice is going to come off biased. It's going to not be as balanced as somebody who doesn't know you at all from wherever,
don't know you from a canopy.
And they could say, hey, this is my viewpoint on it, and based on, you know, things you say or might not say, and you might get comfortable enough to actually open up, and they could point out the parts that probably weren't a little bit more attention. We call that healing, addressing trauma, getting better, whatever you want to call it. But we're not unwell. We probably just want to be a little bit more whole.
Exactly. What else?
Thank y'all.
Yeah,
Thank y'all for showing up. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody who's viewing it, everybody who's taking some time to get in touch with, their mental, spiritual, your soul, and going on this journey, however your journey is. It's things to be discussed and touched on that there's a choice and you could face it, and sometimes it's not as bad as we think it is when we address it. Just take a step forward. But we appreciate all the support. We should have all the links, all the...
down below.
Yeah.
And one last thing before we do sign off. It gets better, guys. And I know that sounds cliche, but 100% it gets better.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys. This has been This Always a Choice podcast, episode 3. Bye. Without the end, Robert. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.